Boom, boom, boom. Welcome to Franchise Mode. I appreciate everybody for being in here. Whoever's in here, shout out to you. Today, we're talking about the NBA trade deadline. Like, the deadline this year was literally crazy. Like, in all aspects. I mean, we got Woj bombs. We got Shams bombs. There were so many different types of crazy trades that happened over the last couple of days. Again, we got the Lakers, you got the Clippers, you got the Phoenix Suns who dropped the biggest trade overnight, I think, of my lifetime. So I mean, it was literally crazy. So I mean, again, we're doing NBA trade deadline. So I have it right here. I have all the Woj bombs on my trusty phone on Twitter. Shout out to Twitter. So we're gonna just go through all the different trades and basically what they mean. So okay, we are gonna start with the Kevin. Actually, we're gonna start with. Let's see. Let's start with the Clippers trades. So the Clippers made a lot of interesting trades. Like the Clippers traded Luke Kennard. They got rid of Reggie Jackson. The Clippers got rid of John Wall. Like the team has literally, like, look. Oh, I'm saying this too. I'm gonna Rafa game my AirPods. I appreciate this for sure. Rafa does have an ESPNU game. If you're at Rafa's ESPNU game, look, we need Rafa to win that. So I appreciate that for sure, for tuning in for sure. So again, a lot of, like, again, with the Woj bombs, like there were so many teams that just their whole roster looks completely different. Actually, speaking about that, let's get into the Warriors. The Warriors today traded James Wiseman, a player they drafted number 2 overall. Number 2 overall. They drafted James Wiseman, 1 pick after Anthony Edwards, who's a superstar, and 1 pick before LaMelo Ball, who is a superstar. This is an all-time blunder by a team. And the Warriors should let every team know that the draft is not a guarantee. I don't care, because I think the Warriors have the best, if not one of the best GMs in basketball. Like, literally. And he's a younger guy, mogul, tech, all different type of stuff. And you can still strike out. Like, you can still strike out with the number 2 pick. It's very possible. So, again, they took James Wiseman over LaMelo Ball because of fit. And when you draft for fit, this is what can possibly happen, man. Like, this is just what can happen. Like, they drafted Wiseman for fit. So now, but unlike teams like the Wizards, they're very okay with saying we effed up. And what they do? They traded James Wiseman, and they trade him for who? Gary Payton II. Oh, reliable. Mr. Oh, reliable. Like they got it done. They made their mistake, and they got it there. Okay. Let's talk Phoenix. So the Phoenix Suns, Mikal Bridges, great player, but you gotta go. You're now a Brooklyn net. Again, 3-and-D player, hasn't really shown too much shot creation, but overall, when we can trade for the Slim Reaper, Durantula, Kevin Durant, you got to get that trade done. Like, and they didn't. Guess what? They didn't trade Chris Paul. They didn't trade Devin Booker. They still have DeAndre Ayton. Now, you lost Cam Johnson, a player, again, I like, but you never pick what you like over what you can love. They want to marry Kevin Durant. They were just dating Cam Johnson and Mikal Bridges. There's a difference between who you like, who you love, who you marry, who you date. They chose the married route. They're trying to marry Kevin Durant and Devin Booker's careers for a minimum the next 4 years, because Durant has 4 years left on his deal. Chris Paul. Now, Chris Paul is, I'm not sure, I think he's around 35, 36, but he looks about 45, 46. Now, Chris Paul's having one of his worst seasons of his career, but he's still an elite passer. And on this team, he ain't really got to do too much but just pass the ball. Chris Paul is just straight floor general right now. Straight floor general. Like, he just has to that's kind of that just has to be his role. Because they can't afford, they don't need another score. That's not what they need to make it to the promised land. To make it to the promised land, they need someone to start the offense. Coughs Brooklyn, coughs the Clippers. Think about the Clippers have all this talent with no floor general, no playmaker. And it hasn't worked because of injuries and the ability to not get the ball into your best player's hands in crunch time. The Suns don't have that problem. They're going to have Chris Paul, who is going to make the right basketball play every single time. So, I think their offense is going to be really potent. Now, I know we have people in here that I've talked to, and they're like, hey, how potent can their offense really be, though? Again, so I bring up, because for them to win an NBA championship, they're going to have the best offense in the NBA, because the defense is going to be lacking, because your best perimeter defender is probably going to be Chris Paul in your starting lineup. Maybe they start Torrey Craig, but Torrey Craig is more of a wing stopper than a point guard person. So DeAndre Ayton's your best defender. I'd probably argue the best defender on the team is Durant. And that's not, if Durant is your best defender on your team, that's probably not too good of a defense. He's not an anchor defensively. He's a good defensive player. He's not an anchor. He's not one of the best defenders of all time. It's gonna be hard for you to build your offense and your defense around the same person. It's really hard to do that. Oh, I do see Reggie Jackson wants to. So Reggie Jackson, I've heard, is in the buyout market. Reggie Jackson does want to sign with the Suns. The Clippers cut Reggie Jackson for a reason. He's just not a good player. John Wall, Reggie Jackson, like these players were essentially dumps and cuts. The Clippers need a point guard. You don't just the Clippers don't want to cut point guards for fun. Like that, like they need point guards. Like so, Reggie Jackson, I don't think moves neither. But the Suns, talking about that, they do need a bench. And Reggie Jackson gives you 6-man bench scoring. So if he can fill that role, not bad. They do have Campaign, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it was Campaign trade days. Anybody know it's in here? I don't think Campaign was traded. In that case, then Campaign, Reggie Jackson off the bench. Chris Paul also, is Chris Paul going to play 82 games? Is he even going to play the next 30 games? No. But it could be, it could be crazy. So it's going to be interesting. And I even see that the Clippers turned down Fred VanVleet today because they wanted to keep Terrence Mann. So I think they're really content on just going heavy wings. Oh, he says, so allegedly they're going after Westbrook. That is a wait to see, because I don't think the Miami Heat have the guts to sign Russell Westbrook. And I truthfully don't think the Clippers are going to have the guts to sign him. Maybe the Clippers are desperate. They haven't won anything ever in the history of their franchise, so maybe they'll be desperate enough. I see Westbrook really going to deal with the Charlotte Hornets or the Washington Wizards. That's his market. 1 year, $500,000. I mean, that's what it's going to take. Like, that's what it's going to take. I don't see him getting any more than that. But again, talking about Phoenix's offense, I think Phoenix's offense is going to at least be a top 5 offense. But to win a championship with that level of defense, you need the best offense in the NBA. So then let's talk about the West. Who would Phoenix have to go through to get an NBA championship? They would have to be the Nuggets. So we said, okay, is Phoenix better than the Nuggets? We can go, let's think about their starting 5. So the Nuggets have Jamal Murray, who of the last 10 games is 24, about 6 and 8, shooting about 50, 40, 90 almost from the field. Like extremely efficient. So you get Jamal Murray at the 1. KCP, 3 and D. It don't get better than that at that role. It don't get better than 3 and D for KCP as a shooting guard. Small forward, Michael Porter Jr. I would have loved for him to get traded for OG Anunoby today, but at the end of the day, Kevin Durant is the best shooter at 7 feet, and the next best is his name, Michael Porter Jr. He plays for the Denver Nuggets. He's one of the best shooters at his size in NBA history. He's that prolific of a shooter, but his back is worse than mine. So there goes that for Michael Porter Jr. Then you have Aaron Gordon, who's had not an all-star, but borderline all-star year. Defensively, he's been insane. He's one of the best cutting big men in the league. And then you have the Joker. And the Joker has an argument to be the best player in the NBA. The guys that have the best have a case to be the best player in the NBA are the Joker and Giannis. That's it. Like, those guys are transcendent. The Joker right now, I'm just gonna pull up the Joker's splits and stat line, just let you know how, like, what type of crazy year he's having. And people, it's crazy because people like are going to just be absolutely pissed if he wins a third MVP. But like, I don't know who's playing better than this guy right now. He's averaging 24.7 points per game, 11.3 rebounds, 10.2 assists. So he'd be the first big man, second player of all time, well, third player all time to average a triple-double. But here's the catch. He's shooting 63.5% from the field. Is an over 20% higher from the field than Russell Westbrook did in his MVP season. He's shooting 38% from three. This might be the most efficient triple-double season. This is going to, if he doesn't win an MVP this year, it's going to be because of voter fatigue. Because the statistics are insane, and I think they're the number one seed. And again, I like the Nuggets team. This Nuggets team isn't probably a playoff team if he isn't on it. If you replace Jokic with just Joe Blow, DeAndre Ayton, is that team going to be better than the Portland Trailblazers? So this team isn't loaded. They just have the Joker, and they have pieces that fit with him. So I think the Suns can beat that team, but they're not going to sweep them. This is a 7-game series. They're going to fight. And I don't know who's going to guard the Joker. I guess Aiden's going to try. But then it's like, who's going to guard Durant? I guess Aaron Gordon's going to try. But they don't have enough bodies. Now, Michael Porter Jr. has the size, but he's a horrific defender. So we got to do something about that. Like, he can't be guarding Durant. That's a joke. That's a joke. So that's my question. Both of these teams' defense isn't the best. I think the Nuggets have a better defense because they have more pieces, and the Nuggets also have like number one offense in the league. So again, the Suns can beat them, but it's not going to be a cakewalk if they do. I saw Law put the Warriors in there. The Warriors right now are not even in the playoffs. I think they'll make the playoffs. Clearly, they'll make the playoffs. But if the Warriors have to play again like the Nuggets or the Suns in round one without home court advantage, I don't see them getting out of that, man. I love the Warriors. I love Gary Payton. I don't know if one move cures all this bad drama they have going on. Does that clean it for the Warriors? Again, Gary Payton II. I love Gary Payton. Great defender. Does he cure the Warriors? He cures everything. He cures the rebounding. He cures the bench. Gary Payton and Leslie is going to cure everything for the Warriors because they've been horrible defensively. They've been horrible in the fourth quarter. And the strength of the team has just been the starting five. Starting five has a plus 18 on the court. When they leave, they're one of the worst teams in the NBA. So they have to have those five guys. Curry, Clay, Looney, Draymond, Wiggins. Those are a core five, but you got to have some guys on the bench. You have to have some guys on the bench. Like, you have to. Okay. Oh, yeah, I see Jokic is a different animal. Guaranteed. 3 MVPs. We're going to get to Lakers very soon. And we're going to get this very soon. And Steph cures everything when healthy. Steph's been healthy this year. They haven't been a playoff team. I like the Warriors. I pick him to go into the finals again. He has not cured anything this year so far. He just hasn't. Again, they're going to make the playoffs. I'm not saying I'm not that bold. But again, if they face the Suns in the first round and they don't have home court advantage, if they face the Nuggets in the first round and don't have home court advantage, it's going to be a tough one, man. And Memphis is ready for them boys. Now, they're better than Memphis, but let me tell you this. Memphis ain't effing around with those boys. Dylan Brooks, who I despise, he's ready for this matchup. They're looking their chops for that matchup. So to go in Memphis and you don't have home court advantage is a tough one for Golden State. And again, I'm not going to pick them to lose now because I need to see the circumstance. But if they have to get to at least a top 3 seed and they're a little far out. So that's my take on the Warriors. Let's get to the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm going to pull up the Los Angeles Lakers record so we understand where they stand as of today. The Los Angeles Lakers. Actually, you know what? I'm going to pull up the Western Conference. Let's go to the standings, go to the playoff picture. The Los Angeles Lakers are the 13th seed 13th seed in the West. For people that don't know, there are only 15 seeds. There are 13 out of 15. It's near 2 from the bottom. The teams below them are tanking for Wembanyama. The Lakers are above the 2 teams tanking for Wembanyama. They are that bad right now. This team's horrible. Before today, they made some very key moves that I like a lot. Let's talk about, you know what? I'm gonna pull it up. I made sure to be tweeting about this all day so I can easily come back to this. So let's talk about the guy I've talked a lot of shit about. I said fire Rob Pelinka's ass. I said he should be fucking embarrassed that on the day LeBron breaks the scoring record, you decide to put out that team. You lose by over 10 points on the night that LeBron breaks Kareem's record, a record that's going to stand another 40 years. There is no current player besides Luka Doncic that has a shot of even breaking this record. It's just Luka. He's the only one that even has a smattering of a shot, and Luka going to play 20 plus years. So this record is at least going to stand for a minimum another like 17 to 20 years. Minimum. And I expected it to go even beyond Luka. I don't think Luka's going to do it. So it's going to be a tough one. So again, I killed Pelinka. But Pelinka was money today. Let's talk about Pelinka's moves. D'Angelo Russell, Mo Bamba, Rui Hachimura, Wizards legend, Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley. These are 5 guys you can start in the playoff series. These are 5 guys that can play for you in the playoff series. And in the playoffs, you play around 8 guys. You found 5 of your 8 most likely in the last week. That's a hell of a job as a GM. Hell of a job as a GM. The Lakers, what did the Lakers not have before this week? They didn't have a skilled point guard. They didn't have shooting. They didn't have perimeter defense. Let's talk about what they got in these players. D'Angelo Russell is having a career year shooting over 40% from 3. He is the most skilled player outside of LeBron and Anthony Davis on the Lakers. He has the most skill. Now, is he my favorite? No, I think he's not the best player in the world. Yes. But for the Lakers, he's a skilled player, which they didn't have before. He's one of the most skilled players on the team. You got a skilled guard. Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba is a backup player. But what is he? This league is about roles. What is Mo Bamba's role on the Lakers? He is going to be a rim protecting, space flooring player. So you're like, well, who does that role? He is going to be Mo Bamba will be an extremely poor version of Brook Lopez for this team. Think about that. That role, rim protection, 3-point shooting. Yes, and this is me with his stats pulled up. Yes, if everybody wants to see. So let's talk about his stats this year. He's only averaging 7 points per game, 4.5 rebounds. But this is where he makes this is where he makes the Lakers key. Mo Bamba is shooting 39.8% from 3 on 2.7 attempts per game. That's pretty good for a big. We're going to shoot that up to about 4 attempts per game, and we need you to stay around 35 to 40%. If he can do that, he can play 20 minutes in a playoff game. Period. Like, his role can be really key. So, again, I don't want to underrate Mo Bamba. And they traded for Patrick Beverley, who, in my case, Beverley's a good player. He shot the worst of his career in the Lakers. He just wasn't a good fit. I think Beverley will is probably going to go back to the Clippers or a team like that. But he just didn't fit in the Lakers well. Okay. Rui Hachimura. Again, Wizards legend, Rui Hachimura. Again, Rui has been pretty good for the Lakers. Like, he's had 14, 8, 7, 19, 16. Like, he's been a pretty good player. He's a small, he's playing, like, he's a 4, it's a small 4, power 4 role. He's going to play perimeter defense. Is he the greatest? No, but he's a 6'9", 235-pound forward. So even if he's not the greatest defender, he's a body. In the playoffs, you need bodies to throw. You get, like, okay, here goes Tatum. Oh, there goes Rui. Is Tatum going to get his 25? Of course he's going to get his 25, 30. But you have to have someone that can take on the physical beating of guarding a Durant. Tatum, Jimmy Butler, all these type of players. He needs to play that Jay Crowder role. Jay Crowder. And yes, Wizards legend, Rui Hachimura. We don't have many legends, sadly. Hey, look, Wizards legend. I'm sorry, Rui Hachimura was his legend. And by the way, Rui Hachimura, one of the first players in Wizards history to be on a 2K cover. Was it the Japan copy? It was a Japan copy. But god damn it, we need something in Washington. God damn it, we need something. So he was the first Wizards to ever make a NBA cover, and I'm taking that to the grave. Sorry. Rui this year, 12.8 points per game, 4.6 rebounds, 1 assist, 48.8% from the field, and 34 from 3. That's going to get the job done. The Lakers don't need superstars. They have that. They have LeBron. They have Anthony Davis. They do not need superstars. They need elite playoff role players. Look what the Boston Celtics have done. They have Tatum. They have Brown. They have Smart, I would throw in there. And everyone else is an elite role player. Al Horford, a little older, elite role player what he does. Rob Williams, elite at what he does. Grant Williams, elite at what he does. Derek White, elite at what he does. Malcolm Brogdon, elite at what he does. You see the trend here. You have your stars, superstar in Jason Tatum. You have your star in Jaylen Brown. You have a mid-tier star-ish in Marcus Smart. You have a bunch of key role players that make a hell of a team. That's what makes that team work. You have superstars and you have playoff-level role players. Rui Hachimura can be that for the Lakers. Now let's talk about my favorite out of all the moves. Vandy, Jared Vanderbilt, big 6'9", power forward center. Jared Vanderbilt is the Lakers' Dennis Rodman. I'm going to say that again for everyone in the back. Jared Vanderbilt is going to be the Lakers' Dennis Rodman. That's the role he's going to play for this team. He's averaging 8.3 points, 7.9 rebounds, 2.9 assists, shooting over 55% from the field. And actually 33% from three. Now, is he going to shoot? Do I want him shooting any threes? No. But if he's wide open because he played with LeBron, you take a couple. He's only playing 24 minutes a game for the Utah Jazz. He'll play a similar-ish amount of minutes with the Lakers. Again, 7.9 rebounds in 24 minutes. If he plays over 30 minutes, he's grabbing he's grabbing like 9 to 12 rebounds, depending on, fluctuation of what his minutes are. He's a worm. We all play 2K. He has the worm on goal. That's Jerry Vanderbilt. He's going to play freaking defense, man. So he's going to guard your big man. He's versatile. He's going to play a similar role to, he's poor man's Bam Adebayo in his defensive role. That will be his role defensively. Undersized, big, little athletic, can guard multiple positions. That's going to be Jared Vanderbilt. To have that come off your bench in a playoff game is elite. Imagine Jared Vanderbilt if he's backing up Jokic. That changes the whole dynamic of the Denver Nuggets. Now Jared Vanderbilt is going to like, okay, AD, you're tired. Oh, okay, Jared Vanderbilt or Mo Bamba. Like, the Lakers are going to have multiple players that can play defense at a high level. Period. Malik Beasley is a bona fide sharpshooter, period. Now, Beasley is having a down year. A down year shooting for Malik Beasley is 35.9% from three. That's a down year for Malik Beasley. He's a bona fide sharp shooter, period. Bona fide sharpshooter. And on this team, Malik Beasley is going to turn into baby Kyle Korver at this point because he's going to be shooting, about 6-7 threes a game? Think about this. LeBron James going to the rim, kick. Malik Beasley, cookies. That's what you're going to just hit a net. Like, it's going to sound like a whip. He's going to be that open. When you play for the Lakers, you're going to be naked all game. You're playing with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. A defense is going to shift to those players. Anthony Davis and LeBron James are top 10 players healthy, period. A defense has to guard them in the paint. If you do not put the requisite bodies in the paint to guard LeBron and Anthony Davis, you've already lost the game. So a team has to commit extra defenders in the paint. That means on the perimeter, the guys have to make shots. That's where Malik Beasley comes in. This is why Lakers fans wanted Buddy Hield. Now, is Malik Beasley the level of shooter as Buddy Hield? No, but he's slightly below that caliber of shooter. That's his role. Now, why some people saying, do we have faith in the Lakers? And the Lakers making the playoffs is crazy. The Lakers have a team, not only to make the playoffs, the Lakers have a team to contend in the West. The question is for the Lakers, like I said before they started, they are the 13th seed. Have they dug a hole deep enough where they can't even get out of their own shit? That's the question for the Lakers. They have a team that can contend for a championship in the West. The team is that talented now. You have 9 to 11 guys that I think can play in a playoff game. Even the Phoenix Suns do not have that. They have more talent up top, but they don't have the depth of this team. So it'd be a battle of superstars, health, and depth in that type of matchup. So they have the talent to be able to win. But have they dug a hole deep enough where they can't even dig out of their own shit? And that will define the Los Angeles Lakers season. That right there is going to define everything about the Lakers. But as a LeBron fan, I hope it works out for them. We, as Laker fans, you need to hope that Anthony Davis and LeBron James stay healthy. Because if AD and LeBron James stay healthy, they're going to make the playoffs. I don't even question that at all. To be honest, now you really just need one of them to play every game. Like you don't like it when both of them plays, you'll have a great chance to win every game. When one of them plays, you'll still have a decent chance because now you have depth to overcome weaknesses. Even like let's talk about just like some of the Lakers lineup. The Lakers are going to have guys. Like the Lakers are, they're gonna have plenty of guys. Like okay, I wrote down like the Lakers lineup. So okay, at point guard, Lakers are gonna have D'Angelo Russell most likely start. To come off the bench for D'Angelo Russell is Lakers' current starting point guard, Dennis Schroeder. He's a good player. Let's talk about defensively. Dennis is on defense. You have roles. Dennis plays a role similar to Patrick Beverly. We consider that in the basketball community the pest role. You're a chaser. You're the annoying guy. You're always going for steals against bigger players. You're annoying the other player. Are you going to clamp someone in front of you at all times? No. But it's going to make it tougher on them to want to keep playing you every single day. In a 7-game series, that skill set is valuable. So Dennis is D'Angelo Russell's backup, and he might even close over D'Lo because he's going to play defense. Sorry. At shooting guard, you have Malik Beasley, most likely that will start. And then you have the White Mamba, who's take Alex Caruso's role, Austin Reeves. Those are 2 shooting guards that can shoot the laces off the basketball. And those are your 2 shooting guards, and they fit perfect with LeBron James' team. At small forward, you probably have Rui. You have Lonnie Walker, who's a Skywalker. You have Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown was traded. I'm sorry, everybody. You have Troy Brown Jr., good little 3-and-D wing. Troy Brown Jr. has had a resurgent year. He was an absolute scrub with the Wizards. He's not a Wizards. He's a scrub with the Wizards. But he's been pretty good for them. So I have to applaud the kid. I mean, he's been good. So I have to give him that. So yeah, these are small forwards. And then Rui will be a power forward too, but LeBron's your other power forward. At center, you have AD, whom also might be, he's a power forward center. You have Mo Bamba, power forward center. You have Vandy, power forward center. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 guys that I believe can play in a playoff game. How many teams in the NBA can we say this team has 11 guys that can play in a playoff game? Think about that, man. That's great. That's not bad. Look. Troy Brown has not been bad for the Lakers. He has not been terrible. He's a good role player. Think about this. Troy Brown right now is probably the Lakers' 11th best player. That's really good. And yeah, Dennis makes a difference on the court. Like defensively, come on. Like it's a championship level team. Do I predict them to win? No, I think they've dug too deep of a hole. But this is a pretty good team. And to be honest, that's them pretty good for next year. So I love it. Like they just got to stay healthy. Okay. Let's talk. Let me think. Who else I want to talk about? Let's talk about some. Oh, okay. I see. We have one. John Wall. Yeah, the Clippers, man. We're gonna get to the Clippers. The Clippers have. The Clippers made a ton of trades today, and they made a couple cuts. They did John Wall back to the Rockets. Absolute slime move. It's tough. Like it's tough. Like I hate to see that for my guy Johnny. Like Johnny, you don't deserve that, man. You don't deserve that. Like you don't. But it happened. Okay, the Clippers. So again, the Clippers. The Clippers, the Clippers got Terrence Mann today. I mean, not Terrence Mann. The Nuggets point guard, Bones Highland. I was like, okay, interesting. You trade Nuke or Luke Kennard. They got Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon's a solid 3-and-D shooting guard. Does he move the needle? I'm not sure. But he can play in a playoff game. You know that. Like Eric Gordon can play in a playoff game. We've seen it happen before. But I'm just not sure, does he move the needle? The question is, what did the Clippers need before coming to today? The Clippers needed a floor general. I'm not sure if they answered that. Okay. The Clippers are just a very interesting team because they have so much talent. I'm just not sure if they've done enough. I'm just not sure. But okay, I'm gonna bring up my guess. So we got Money Mont in the building to talk some NBA trade deadline, man.
What's going on, Ron? What's
How
going
you
on?
doing? I was before we moved to the Clippers. I was just doing Lakers. They're like they called me crazy. I said the Lakers might make the playoffs. They said that's a crazy take for some. So just what do you even think about me saying Lakers playoffs?
It's not that crazy, and it's not that crazy because you got some teams that actually want to slide down. Utah kind of want to slide down.
Mm.
OKC hasn't shown that they want to go for a playoff spot. I mean, what benefit does it do them to be closer to the play-in than drop a couple games? So I think just about that they'll be able to move closer to the 11th. And we still got about 26 games because they probably dropped the one to the Bucks tonight. You know what I mean? Braun not
Yeah,
playing. We got to
they're
focus.
dropping that.
We got to focus on Golden State because you can for sure get that Golden State one without Steph. And I think, what I mean, with them being 4.5 games behind the fifth, sixth seed, it's not out the realm.
Yeah,
There's
I'm probably
26
saying.
games left, and they can actually get on a run and say they can start out 3-2. You know what I mean? They got to find their groove once they get these first players back. They do got the hardest schedule left in the league, but
Yeah.
you can't do what teams have been doing anymore. You can't just sit there and let people shoot anymore.
No.
Nobody was chasing Russ off the line. Nobody was chasing Pat Bev off the line.
No.
Nobody I heard you said something about Troy Brown earlier, Ron. You know how I feel about Troy.
Yes,
Brown.
I know how you feel. And
He needs to fall down the depth chart now.
Well, let me see. This is a comment. When I brought up Troy Brown's name, this is a comment that I got in the comments. No, we didn't bring up Troy Brown.
Yeah, I think
the
Troy
hate for
Brown
Troy Brown
is
crazy. He's your 11th man right now.
But you can't necessarily, not chase people off the line. I do feel a little bit bad about Thomas Bryant leaving. Yeah. Granted, Mo Bamba is the same player, but he a better rim protector. But Thomas was hitting, man. There's gonna be a difference once you in LA and you hitting, and Bryant was hitting. So, I like what the Lakers did overall. I do think they can get in the playoffs, and when they get in the playoffs, if they're healthy, I know that's a big if.
Yes.
They're gonna be a force to reckon with, and even still, if AD is not,
are they not? This is my thing, Mon. Are they not contenders? Like, me and you, we're not picking them to win anything.
No.
To say they're not a contender to me is crazy. They have 10 guys that can play the playoff game.
I definitely think Bron is kind of like Brady. If you get him, and it's the thing, even in their last playoff series, I don't understand why people think Phoenix just beat the brakes off the Lakers. The Lakers were up. AD got hurt, and then
they
Phoenix
lost.
Started doing exactly what teams are doing now. Zoning up on Bron, not chasing shooters off the line. So it's, what I mean? If they can, if D'Lo, if Beasley, if Rui, if Bamba, if they can all find their rhythm, the Lakers will be all right if they can get in the playoffs.
Again, like I said, the Lakers are contenders. The question is, can they get out of their own shit? Because they done dug a hell of a hole. They're in the grave right now. Again, they're 13th. Only 15 teams in the West. The teams below them are tanking. They're trying to get Wemby. So, again, they've dug a hole. Now, again, you have to blame Pelinka for that. I'm sorry. I have to blame you, Pelinka.
I give Rob some blame. I definitely give Rob a lot of blame. I think we could have did something a long time ago.
Yeah.
Not necessarily along these lines, but even still, having Russ off the team would have done so much more for this roster because, granted, he wasn't the only person that couldn't shoot. but you don't have to worry about having to have him on the court in those
And
low
that's the
moments
problem.
when the game is on the line. And granted, LeBron is gonna have turnovers. He's gonna have the ball in his hand. So it's a difference between him having 4 turnovers and Russ having 3, or Braun having 6 and Russ just having 5. Like Russ turnovers are genuinely bad turnovers, terrible turnovers.
Last game, do we remember look, crazy. Okay, though, so the Lakers got a chance, man. Am I gonna pick them to come out the West? No, but I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be real. I ain't really picking nobody out the West right now. I think the Suns look good.
I like them Suns.
The Suns look good. Now, again, the Suns are fully loaded, but the bench is tough. And we've seen the Warriors, when the Warriors have the best plus minus in the NBA with their starting 5. They're the 9th seed right now. Why? Because their bench was that bad. Now, you say the Suns do have campaign. They have who they get? They got what's the small forward from the Nets? They got big guy.
They got TJ Warren.
TJ Warren.
They still got Landry Shamet,
Craig,
Damian Lee. You know what I mean? They got some
Damian
pieces that
Lee.
kind of fit. They got a piece that fit. I mean, the center Lawndale, I think he kind of already,
yeah,
for what they do. But you got a guy like Chris Paul, he gonna maximize those players' ability right there. So they granted they don't got quality bench players, but when you got a player like KD, you got a player like CP, they gonna maximize the talent around them. And I just think it's so scary that people are kind of underestimating Book, and I just feel like, you know what I mean,
they're sleeping on Book.
I just feel like Book is an elite level scorer in this league, man. I mean, you already can't double KD.
5 score in this league, man. He has an argument, like, to be like, I think when he was playing, he was playing at a top 10 player level. He was healthy, and we know he ain't playing too much defense. So to get to that level, how does your scoring have to be?
Yeah, Devin Booker was number 4 MVP last year. He's been the man. So I just think you got those 3 together. They got a shot. I do think the Clippers will give them a good run. I think the Nuggets will give them a good run too, because I'm not sure Aiden will be able to mess with Jokic for real.
Yeah,
I do think it's talent to mess with him, but I get the Suns as favorite right now, just because you just got that trio. I think that's the only trio we can say we got right now in the league.
You can. Every team is built so different. Like the Nuggets have, to me, either the best player in the NBA or the second best player. Like he's one of the players that has an argument to be the best guy, is the Joker. And right now, I think the numbers say he's probably an MVP again. I talked about it earlier before you got on. He's shooting 64% from the field. He has a triple double right now. Like it's hard to not give that guy, but media bias and 3 times and win no championship is tough. So I get it.
I just think it's kind of hard to say the years that he didn't win it, they weren't number 1 seed, and now that they're about to be the number 1 seed, he doesn't win it. Like it's kind of weird. It'll be real contradictory, and I just, you know what I mean. But it's just such a good MVP race. It's hard to be mad if anybody win it. To be honest. So
you
many.
Have Tatum, you have Giannis. I'm probably missing somebody up there. Luka, just it's Luka. They're alive because he's there basically. So again, every team is different. You have the Nuggets; they're built around the Joker and a bunch of really good players. But really, they're slight. They have a couple of role players. KCP is really a role player right now in his career. He's damn near the best, one of the best role players in the NBA. But he's essentially like a role player, play elite role. Michael Porter Jr. was pinned out to be a superstar. Right now, he's really just a 7-foot sharp stretch 4. I mean, he's really a role player right now. He doesn't play defense. He's not a good rebounder. He's a stretch 4. But my take was you have Kevin Durant, and then you probably have Michael Porter Jr. at that size. That are the best shooters in the league right now. It's like he's one of the best jump shooters in the NBA. Like I don't want to take that away from him, but right now he's essentially like a Ryan Anderson that's more athletic. Like that's his role. He's not really making shots off the dribble. I mean, maybe one dribble slide, the KCP special, but he ain't really creating his own shots. So you have that team. You have the Lakers, who have LeBron and AD, 2 superstars and a bunch of role players. You have the Suns, who have, in my opinion, really just 2 superstars, and Chris Paul he's like 45. Elite floor general. He's gonna make it work, but right now he's a little past his prime. And you have Aiden, who I think is gonna play a little better now that he has a reason to play better. And then when you have the Clippers,
I
who have a
do think the
bunch of good
Clippers
wins.
Clippers are definitely underrated. I think they being overlooked just a little bit. And granted, I don't necessarily give them top three chance, but
Mm-hmm.
I think the Clippers what they got with Paul George and Kawhi is real similar to what's going on in Boston. So you know,
Yeah.
what I mean, the team is just built so well. They did some good moves today. I do like Bones Highland. I mean, they kind of get their Lou Will back in a way, but
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot of spring in his step. You got off some bad contracts with Reggie Jackson and Luke Kennard, and let's be honest, they had to keep him because you know that deep playoff run where guys played well and they ain't want to lose him.
Ray
So
Jackson is not a good player though, man.
yeah,
Like
he got overpaid.
this man.
That 2021 run got him a bag.
So again, just like I'm not gonna say Ray Jackson is Westbrook, but by just losing him, they already, to me, in my opinion, got a little better. Like him and Wall, just from them not being on the team, I think you automatically won. Like
I think Clippers pick up Westbrook though. I
that's the
think
crazy part.
I think the Westbrook narrative is gonna be so crazy at the end of the year, and if he does end up with the Clippers, Miami's an option too. But if he end up with the Clippers, he has an opportunity to play in a system that actually fits him for the first time.
He's a good fit though, Mom, but we just know like he just has such a hard time playing his role. Like the Lakers said, look, you're gonna come off the bench, you're gonna do this. And you're like, damn, Westbrook played so great tonight. Then the next game comes, and you're like, what? We've taken 7 threes.
I
Like,
don't know, this just seemed like this is the if they he can do exactly what they need to do. Play make and the turnovers are gonna come with it.
yeah, it
I
is.
think with the way they play defense, they're gonna be able to live with the turnovers because they got people that hustle back in transition.
Uh-huh.
They got wings that can shoot. I mean, they got arguably, you know, what I mean, one of the greatest wings ever in Kawhi. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's all got to come to fruition.
Norman
But it just
Powell.
works so
You got
much
Eric
better.
Gordon.
It just works so
Um,
much better than the Lakers situation with almost the equal amount of talent with better role players. So I think the Westbrook agenda can change if he get to that spot. That's a perfect spot for him.
and by the way, before we talk more about the Clippers, I do have some breaking news. So we have Brett Favre, who we know with the welfare scandal, has actually sued Shannon Sharp and Pat McAfee for talking. It's a defamation lawsuit. Defamation, everybody doesn't know, essentially means like you're talking bad on someone else's name. So he said that he's like, they talked wrong on me, even though this man has a public court case, if I'm not mistaken. So I just have to announce the news. We don't need to really talk about it too much. But for everybody that wants to know, Brett Favre is now suing Shannon Sharp and Pat McAfee for defamation. I thought that'd be funny to say.
Got to get
Okay.
his money somewhere.
Yeah, hopefully not from the government. I don't want to get sued, so we're not going to talk about it. But yeah, I got it. Okay, so the Clippers got Bones Highland today. What do you think about that? Because Bones is a fun player.
I like Bones a lot, especially because he's from VCU. I typically support players that come from Virginia colleges.
I bet.
He's gonna be a good fit off that bench for him because I just you know I mean they did give away a little bit of scoring with Reggie and some premier shooting with Luke, but you know what I mean I think it'll be a better role for Bones as well because he's gonna have some opportunity. He's gonna be playing in a system that you know what I mean they like I said with Westbrook they got a lot of good players, so it's gonna be
Terrence Mann, great player. They turned down Fred Van Vliet today for Terrence Mann. Now,
Fred VanVleet is a lot of money.
some people think this could be Taylor Horton Tucker for Kyle Lowry, the Lakers turning it down esque. I don't say that because Terrence Mann, I think, is actually a really good player. Like, I think you close with him on the floor. I think he's one of their 5. Like, he's that good of a player in my opinion. Like, he's literally 3-and-D that can create his own shot. Like, is he the tallest guy? No. Is he the best shooter? No. Is he the best defender? No. But
Not at all.
He's just gonna try his ass off. Like, all he's gonna do is give you 100% effort. Him and Norman Powell. Norman Powell's 6'3", but 6'8". Like,
and it's just funny because I remember when when we first seen Terrence Mann kind of emerging in the playoffs, everybody kept saying he's kind of Kawhi-esque. And that's just definitely a perfect way to describe his game. It's not necessarily flawed, but it's not perfect either. So, you know, I mean, he give you some quality minutes. You just don't know what position he is. One night he a 1, a 2, a 3. But I mean, no, that's a good guy for them. I don't necessarily understand why Toronto would want him, but you know, what I mean, He seemed pretty good with the Lakers, and like one of those guys that I'm good because I'm on this team.
So you consider the Clippers a contender with these moves they made? You might consider them a contender before these moves, but yeah,
They were a content. They've been a contender for a couple of years now. It's just been health. Really, it's just been health. Granted, 2021, I will say they were unlucky losing Kawhi. I think they kind of end up in the finals if they don't lose Kawhi, but
possibly, yeah.
it's just all gonna hinge on the health of their two superstars. Also with Paul George, he's known to have a little,
Yeah,
trouble
it's
in the
known.
playoffs. So I think if he pretty much fights through that like he did the last time, he'll be fine, and they'll be title contenders. But it's just so much more talent now than it was then to say they'll definitively win it. But I definitely agree with that they're contenders.
And okay, so you are a Hawks fan. You all did trade for Sadiq Bey today. Before we move on to another team, I just wanted your quick opinion for anybody else that likes the Hawks or Trae Young. As a Hawks guy, making a trade that doesn't have to do with John Collins, how does that make you feel at this point?
I just want to preface what I'm about to say is that I'm a Dwayne Wade. I was a Dwayne Wade guy, so
Hey, nah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm
you can be
done.
that kind of basketball guy. I'm a Trae Young guy, so I'm a Hawk guy right now. I just feel like it's real quiet. I mean, to not even push John Collins out if you're gonna bring Sadiq Bey in. What are we doing? This is not addition by addition. I think the agenda on Sadiq Bey kind of nasty right now, but I'm a Sadiq Bey fan. I think he's definitely comparable to a DeAndre Hunter, and I've always been saying that we kind of need those same kind of wings together. We're gonna have a
Yeah.
center like Clint Capella. So
Yeah.
I do like it. I'm just definitely sad we couldn't get John Collins off, and I just think for us to be shopping him this long and to get absolutely nothing, what is the value on John Collins from? Like,
The bottom of my Chelsea boot right now.
and I don't understand why. Because he, like, in this era, you want to stretch four, can rebound, athletic. You know what I mean? His only
Yeah.
problem is defense.
And goddamn it, he ain't got none of that.
No, man.
The problem is, it's hard in the NBA to be able to just play. I can say I can play one position in that position only. That's a really tough role because if he could be a small ball five, he would have already done it consistently. They try to use him like that. It doesn't work every single time. So it's like, okay, you're a power forward. What do you guard? Other power forwards. When you play in the offense, the cutter. So you only do you can't be any type of versatile in any other way. No.
Yeah. It's just
If you're not
definitely
an elite
terrible.
player, it's really tough to say I only am a power forward, which is like almost the most like power forward. What is that? Like the most like there is like no true power forwards down there anymore. Like that's like a lost position. Like
I mean, but what is a true power forward though?
Karl Malone, Barkley, like
I
Dirt.
mean, yeah, you don't necessarily, but you don't necessarily got rebound guys anymore
You
because
don't.
in this league, your point guard, you want your point guard to be 6'6", so he's gonna be able to get you 5 to 6 boards too, and everybody will be able to get you a decent amount of boards. So I think we just in a different league, and you just got to be able to. I don't know, man. I definitely just want to see John Collins off the Hawks. If not, what I mean, if Trae Young leave,
Yeah.
I'll be right behind you, Trae.
Okay. Okay. So we're on the East. The East is known to me right now as the tough conference. But the West might have something to say now about that. So let's talk about the East a little bit more. So we're talking about losers. And that's why I'm bringing up the East. Because this wouldn't be franchise mode if I didn't talk about the Washington Wizards. So this is my Washington Wizards rant.
Wow.
For all my Wizards fans that are here, I know I see a couple of you in the comments. So I
Hurt
know you're
Wizards
here.
fan.
The Washington Wizards are in my top three losers. My other three, the Chicago Bulls, the Toronto Raptors. Losers. You failed, buddies. Let's start with the Wizards. You have Kyle Kuzma. Minimum, you're getting the first round pick. Minimum. Or
He's not bad though.
Not bad.
He's not bad though. Quality wing.
Porzingis,
Quality wing.
who's having, I think, a career year. This is, I would say, his best year. But we know he's an injury-prone player. You have Bradley Beal. Horrible contract, but on a championship team, this is a elite third option. You get rid of none of these guys, and so not only were you not buyers at the deadline, you weren't even sellers. So what were you? Mediocre. And that's the Washington. The Washington are 42-42, or 41-41. That's what they are. A 41 win team. They are very okay with being meh, the play-in.
The Wizards' agenda is nasty. But it's potential though. It's potential on that team. Now, granted, y'all, I would have made a move on one of the stars.
Mid-3. They said we have the mid-3. Bill Porzingis, Kuzma are considered the mid-3. That's Bill Simmons coined that. The mid-3. I don't want that to be my big 3.
I like Bill though. I can't necessarily say anything bad about Bill. I still think he's a pretty solid scorer for you guys. It's just the team is built very funny. Like, but you're right, Ron. It's a mid-3. It's definitely a mid-3.
It's like, how much money do you invest in mediocrity? Because Porzingis, to me, if he doesn't get the max, it's gonna be damn close. Okay, Bill Supermax, Porzingis either max or close. Kuzma wants $20+ million a year. And I can't say he's not gonna get that in the market because he damn sure might. Especially with players like bro, those players making $18 million. You like, come on, Joe Harris makes $18 million. Kuzma's getting damn near 20, if not 20.
It's some shooters with some bad contracts right now. See Duncan Robinson,
Bertans. Kuzma's gonna get his freaking money. So again, 20 mil for Kuzma, a supermax player, a max player, and you couldn't even win 45 games. That's a problem to me. So that's the Wizards. The Chicago Bulls. DeRozan, Levine, Vooch, good players. The mid-3 part 2. A little better than the Wizards, guys. But overall, this isn't moving the needle. This is a first-round exit team.
If they're even a playoff team.
If they're a playoff team. They made no move at the deadline.
I mean, it's a lot of talent on that team, too, though. That's another... I don't want to say mid-3 because DeMar is a dog.
But I'm not sure. Out the first round last year, and it wasn't by accident.
I mean, Ron, they are going to be put out the first round, but that's what you got when DeMar's your first option, though. So, but you're starting off bad right there, though. Even though DeMar's a dog, but you're starting off bad right there.
You start off bad. Again, DeMar, great number 3 on a championship team. Great number 3 on a championship team. If he's your 1, you're clipped. Like, so you have to do something. Levine could have got you 2-3 picks.
What could have Lonzo Ball got him?
Lonzo Ball could have got them a doctor. Because that's where he's at right this second.
You know what I'm predicting? Lonzo Ball will actually end up in Charlotte.
Or retired. I'm not even... I swear, everyone, I'm not even sure. Like, I've covered the story. He has a degenerative knee. He still, as of right this second, cannot run without having pain in his knee.
He's played a lot of basketball in his life, though.
So was every NBA player. Like, think about it. If Julius Randle's out here running around with that body type and his knee hasn't exploded,
he's transforming. But yeah, I definitely like to see Lonzo on the court, though. I think it was a lot of potential. Like, it's just so many guys that you thought had that prototype, that Bron Magic type prototype, Ben Simmons, Lonzo, that just disappoints you. I don't understand what.
This agenda is sick. This is a sick agenda.
Yeah, Jello was never built for basketball. He's always.
Where the incident happened? Was that in China? Or that was in Italy?
It was in. I think it was in China.
And now you see where I'm going with this. That's exactly where he's going to be back again. China.
Jello would make a hell of a DN if we're being honest.
And the body type isn't necessarily a basketball body type. It's 6'3", about 230. Unless you're Marcus Smart, you probably ain't getting too far in the NBA with that. But okay.
No, his brother's nice though. Is the one that is playing.
Yes, LaMelo's been great. Okay, now the third mid team, the failure, the Toronto Raptors. Pascal Siakam, top 25 player. Blake's number 2. Scotty Barnes, who they didn't trade for Kevin Durant, by the way, which looks horrible now. I guess Durant was 34. that was a pretty nasty agenda. That was actually probably one of the nastiest agendas that no one really questioned. Dude, like, I like Scotty. To keep
I like
Scotty and
Scotty too.
Durant,
I don't know what's up with Scotty. I
he
don't know what's up with Scotty.
Scotty is looking. Okay, this is gonna sound pretty harsh. He's looking very Ben Simmons right now, not current Ben, like Sixers Ben,
I
who's
just
like,
think I
yeah,
just think with that team it's just
no,
a lot of them players seem to play alike,
yeah,
and you just got too much of it. Like OG is pretty much Scotty, but Scotty can't shoot like OG, so Scotty's playing inside. But Scotty need room to score in the paint. So does Pascal. Like
they
I
have no
don't.
true center. Well, they got Jakob Poeltl today, so the Raptors actually were a buyer today. They should have been sellers.
Yeah,
So
they
they
did bring in
bought
Poeltl.
Jakob Poeltl, who they're gonna pay $20 million a year to, and Poeltl's a good player. Pirtle
Definitely.
somehow moves you to a championship contender. I don't know what they're doing. Fred VanVleet said, "Hey, I'm out of here. Either you trade me or I walk in and sign and trade."
He's out in free agency.
Well, he said he wants over $100 million.
Where you
He's
gonna get
shooting
it at?
30 from the field right now, not from three, from the field. I like you, man. He cannot.
And
He's
I'm gonna be honest with you though, Ron. He might get it though.
he's gonna get it. I mean, Jalen Brunson got that. I mean,
That's exactly
Brunson's
why he's
better
gonna get it.
in my opinion. But regardless, Jalen Brunson got over $100 million.
That's why he's gonna get it though. Jalen Brunson shows you small point guards can go ahead and get that bag.
So again, you kept Fred VanVleet after having him in trade talks all year. You kept Gary Trent, another expiring contract, who's been in trade talks all year. So now they're probably pissed. You kept OG Anunoby, who's now, I've seen somebody tweet, become the new Miles Turner. We're gonna trade you every year, but then somehow you're gonna resign you 3 years later. I think OG Anunoby has become the new Miles Turner. So I don't think he's ever going to get traded. It's just going to be always like, oh, let's trade OG. Like they tried to get 3 first-round picks for OG Anunoby.
That's terrible.
Drugs.
The value of picks is just so questionable right now. 5 and 3 and 4 second round picks. I mean, does that equal a first? And then
I don't know anymore.
like I'm not understanding how all these second round picks, and then you got teams pretty much selling just to load up on seconds. So what is a first worth?
Kevin Durant today got traded for 4 first-round picks. To think OG Anunoby even really gets 2 is pretty steep.
To think that the Timberwolves gave up 4 for Rudy, and that's the thing that
That's
merged
just
KD's trade value. Like KD should have, in theory, went for about 3 more first round picks. But getting back Bridges though, I really like Bridges. He's a player that you can probably get 2 picks for if you are a contender.
I agree.
If you're a team like the Bucks, you need to look into something like that.
So yeah, the Raptors were one of my losers because I just didn't. I feel like Masai Ujiri has been getting owned for years, and we do love him and we love Nick Nurse, but they haven't actually produced the way we thought they would. Because after they won the championship in 2019, we're like, man, Nick Nurse, top 5 coach. Masai Ujiri, I'm saying I said these things. Masai Ujiri, top 5 GM. Like he was willing and dealing, took a risk, won. And I didn't think they would win the championship again. But you're telling me you can't even get like the DeMar DeRozan years of like conference championship getting beat by LeBron. You can't even get to that level again. They haven't even got to the second round since Kawhi's gone.
But this is definitely a more loaded East though. I can't lie. You've had seen a lot of players that weren't that in that time they weren't the players that they are now, like Joel and Giannis. So they can't necessarily conjure up what they had in 2019, especially with Kawhi gone. And we can honestly say that not OG, I'm sorry, Pascal.
Pascal.
He isn't the dynamic player Kawhi was back then.
No, he's a number 2, in my opinion.
But I mean, he's pretty decent. So I do think I mean, it's something there, but it definitely needs to be restructured. Uh, you got to make it fit a little bit more around Scotty though, if he is gonna be a player, because this is clearly the guy that is gonna be the guy going forward. I mean, you still got Pascal who may move in the future, but let's just go ahead and go to a Scotty now, because it's gonna be a rebuild whether they like it or not.
So who do you have as contenders in the East? Because right now, like these are good teams. you have Boston, you have Milwaukee, you have Philly, you have Cleveland.
All right, I don't think Malcolm up here, so I'm gonna talk about Boston real quick.
Okay.
Boston, honestly, they can get back to the finals. It's no question about that. I think JT is spectacular. He he just is so he's such a hard to stop player, and I don't necessarily like to compare players to Kobe, but it's Kobe-esque. It's fluid. His footwork is amazing. He gets to the midi. He got a lot of moves in his bag. I think Tatum pretty much gonna carry him to the finals again, and Jaylen Brown pretty much showing that he may be on Tatum level, maybe not.
He's been hooping.
Maybe not the exact same superstar, but he's definitely been hooping. And the team already plays great defense. They're not slouching on score shooters. Mark said they might get Gallinari back if they end up getting him back in the
Yeah,
in the playoffs.
I
That's
don't
a
want ACL recovered Gallinari in the playoffs, but actually, as a Boston hater, I would love that.
run. They just need that shooting. As long as they got the
Well, they
shooting
got
around them, they're gonna
Muscala.
be good.
Allegedly,
Brogdon,
my
White.
co-host told me Mike Muscala is now one of the best defensive centers in the NBA by the numbers. He is a great. So that you got 3 and D.
Listen, he's probably not even going. He shouldn't have to play that many minutes in the playoffs. He might can give him a spot. He like those Daniel Tice kind of guys. You know how you feel about those kind of guys.
Yeah, that Mike Muscala is the new Daniel Tice for the Boston Celtics. You're right. And by the way, Jaylen Brown has a facial fracture. I did that article this morning. Now, Joel Embiid had a similar injury. He played with the black mask. So I assume Brown will play with a mask. We'll see if that affects his game or not. But he does have a facial fracture. So not a serious injury. An injury you won't need like surgery on. But we'll probably keep him out to after the All-Star break. And he'll probably have to wear a mask for the foreseeable future. So we'll see how that works out. The Cleveland Cavaliers made no move today. I don't think they're a loser only because they traded for Donovan Mitchell-Lilley in the summer. Like, you can't, come on. Like, what are we doing here? So, the Cavaliers, are they contenders this year?
No, for certain. You got to say they're contenders, but I do think that wing position is so important in the NBA. Like, you almost kind of got to have a wing to win now. In their case, the guys that they got to worry about the most is Embiid and Giannis, and I do think they got a front court that can handle it now. We talking about defensive scheme at this point. How are we going to handle if Joel messing up one of us or Giannis taking one of us to the cup straight like that? Like, they're going to have to figure that part out, but when it comes to a team like, say you got to play Boston, you're gonna be hurt once it comes to those wing players because Donovan Mitchell
100%.
can't get on Brown or Tatum. Neither can Garland. So what I mean, it's a little weird they didn't make a move for a wing. They probably don't have any first round picks, but the way seconds was going, you probably could have got a Torrey Craig or a Jay Crowder or something like that. It's like somebody of
Jay
that.
Crowder, the Bucks.
I mean, I think if I'm Jay Crowder, I'm pushing that. I'm trying to get there. So
Well, no, Jay Crowder's the Buck. Isn't he not?
No, exactly. I would have pushed that before anything.
Jay Crowder tweeted today. I cut off my finger. So, like, he said, I cut off my finger so I can save my
hand. Cut off my finger to save my hand.
That's Geno Smith-esque. We know what Geno did when his quote. So that was, it ain't Geno, but it's damn near there. If it works out.
I hope someday he gets on a pod and start talking about the situation in Phoenix. That's the new wave.
Hop on all the smoke. I feel like that's the pod he hops on and does that.
Oh, definitely.
Love that pod. So,
and we'll definitely be tuned into it on social media. They always put something out there.
Okay, and really quick NFL segue. I forgot the NFL honors is on tonight. So, Nick Bosa, DPOY. Oh, sadly, Michael Parsons. I feel for you, Micah. You're like 23. You have like 10 years. Like, you were first team All Pro. It's going to be okay. But defense player, Nick Bosa. Assistant coach of the year, D'Amico Ryans, now head coach. Justin Jefferson, offensive player of the year. That's a big one. Like, greet on stage. That's cool. Yeah. And Kelly Clarkson sung, I guess, the national anthem in a Cowboys dress. So, just once again, I'm just being embarrassed on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. So, and then but before we move on back to the NBA really quickly, DeMar Hamlin, what do you feel about the NFL marketing him like this now? Like he's almost become a token for the NFL in a weird way to me.
I feel for the DeMar Hamlin situation so much because that's something like we never seen before and genuinely did not want to see. You know what I mean? I hope something like that never happens on the field again. I think as far as like a PR standpoint, they have to pretty much keep this story in the forefront, especially when it's not necessarily like, or maybe I missed it, but I haven't necessarily seen like a full explanation on what happened and how do we avoid this happening again. So, you know what I mean? I definitely think it's something they got to do. It's real nice that they definitely, you know what I mean, gave him the award that he received. I seen that he won an award because he donated a good amount of money. So that's definitely good. I think they should definitely keep him in the forefront just to, you know what I mean, keep showing his progress at least until he get back on the field.
Okay. Now, so let's go back to the NBA. I have a question that I was going to answer, but I'll let you go first. So are the 2020 Brooklyn Nets with Harden, Kyrie, Durant, is that a better team than the 2023 Suns?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I think it is. And I'm going to be honest. You know what I mean? You cancel out KD. To me, Booker and Kyrie is kind of the same level scorer. Like, they both are killers. And when it comes to Harden and CP, come on now. We're definitely going to go Harden. The Harden is the thing that really just tips it over. Honestly, like, it's going to be that Brooklyn Nets team. But they played about 14 games. I don't necessarily give them that excuse, but I'll go ahead and say it right now. They only played 14 games together. So, I mean, you can't necessarily say exactly what they was. It's gonna be interesting to see the Suns team though. If they play more than 14 games, shoot, when does KD even come back? He said after All-Star break.
So Kevin Durant has a MCL sprain, everybody. He won't even get reevaluated until after the All-Star break, which means he probably has a week after that of not playing. Now,
somebody asked me a pretty interesting question today though. They asked, when were you able to trade injured players? I did find that interesting. I thought most of the time you could not trade injured players.
Well, think about it. Danny Green was traded last year off an Achilles tear, I think. Like he was, I think like the day after he tore his Achilles, like he was gone. Joe Ingles got traded last year off of it.
Eesh, that is very fair. NBA kind of cold like that.
NBA is just a little cold.
I mean,
okay, but let me ask the question. So that 2020 Nets team to me is again like is better. So again, the question is the 2020 Brooklyn Nets a better team, or at least a more talented team than the 2023 Phoenix Suns with Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant is the commonality on both teams. I still think the Nets team is a better offense. I just think they are. Again, Kevin Durant, like cancel each other out. Kevin Durant is same level of play even 3 years later, so cancel each other out. Maybe you compare a Harden D-Book, who's better. I still think D-Book has been great. That Harden then win MVP, he shot 47% from the field, which if we didn't know was the highest of his career. He averaged 11 assists a game with 8 boards as well with 20 plus points. D-Book is killing it. He doesn't bring that much to the table. Like that was like the last elite. Harden's still pretty good. He's an all-star still. He should be. But that was like his last elite, like all NBA caliber year. So I would still give him the edge even there. And then Kyrie, come on, Chris Paul is one hamstring pull away from retiring. So again, and it's like maybe he goes to the bench and the bigs. Now somebody brought up the argument, maybe like, hey, this Suns team has Aiden. That Nets team really had no big. I agree because they had LaMarcus Aldridge playing, Blake Griffin, Paul Millsap. I don't even think Claxton was there yet. So an interesting one. So I think that next team had more offensive talent. And defensively, it's going to be interesting to see who's the better defense. Because both teams weren't elite defenses. Maybe the Suns have a true rim protector, so maybe that raises their defensive ceiling. But both teams ain't good defenses. I think the Nets were a better offense. So I think the 2020 Nets were a better team than the 2023 Phoenix Suns. Somebody prove me wrong. Let me see the comments. Somebody said, "Are the Suns failures if they don't win a championship this year?" Well, not this year. They still have Durant next year.
They got KD for about
4
3 more years after this year, so
Yeah.
you're gonna. The only thing, I mean, granted, yeah, they're not failures this year. The only thing that the Suns really got to worry about, what do you do with Chris Paul? Because that contract is not gonna be worth what he is in age the next 2 years. So, you know what I mean? How do you put the team around Devin Booker and KD if Chris Paul is making that much money?
Yeah. Oh, another slight breaking news. So Sean Marks actually went on the record to the Athletic today and said we did not reach the full potential where we thought we could get to.
Of course not.
As we've spoken on the situation, we've spoken to existence. So they had the talent, but I'm back where I'm finna hop on. Okay, so let's throw this next topic out and
let's corner this Nets man,
and then we'll revisit. Okay, what was I about to ask you, Mont? Oh, we're talking about the East. So we said Cleveland, like maybe contender. Because okay, we've never seen a backcourt that short and that bad defensively ever contend in NBA history. You're like, well, the Warriors, blah, blah, blah. Klay Thompson was an all NBA caliber defender. You stop it. He's 6'7". Does not count. Great shooters, yes. Klay Thompson was the elite defender. And Curry, I mean, I know this is an overblown narrative. It's not that bad of a defender. Like, is he the GOAT? No. But is he like, oh, Curry's this horrible defender? Like, he's not a horrible defender. Is he athletic enough to like clamp Kyrie Irving in the finals? No. But like no one could do that. Like what point guard is guarding Kyrie Irving in the finals when he was on that mode? I don't care. I don't care if you had Tony Allen. Like he was dropping off Clay, Draymond. It didn't matter who was on Kyrie. Kyrie was on a mission. So to use that against Curry to me has always been a little lazy. Okay, but again, we've never seen Darius Garland's like 6'1". We know Mitch is 6'1", like on his best day. But offensively, I love Garland. One of the best passers in the NBA, period. One of the best shooters in the NBA. Can play off the ball, too. Donovan Mitchell is a bona fide offensive engine in the playoffs. I've considered him, he can be a player that you run your offense through in a playoff series. That is a huge deal. The Jazz did not have other offensive superstars. He led a complete offense himself. So we know that he can do that type of thing. So now you have Darius Garland, you have Mitchell. Defensively horrible, offensively A+. Small forward, Mark, is where this team gets into trouble.
Very iffy. You playing Curris? Are you running? Are we starting Curris? Like,
it's no way I'm starting Curris LeVert.
Honestly, I don't think they benched that DB either, though. You know what I mean? I think they still got Cedi Osman, Kevin Love.
Kevin Love actually is not playing right now.
They'll be in the playoffs and he'll be playing, but I mean.
So right now was it Osman? I'm gonna say the guy's name is Stevens.
Yeah, Stevens, Lamar Stevens, Dean Wade. Yeah, they got a couple. I think they got Ricky Rubio too. So I mean, they got guys. Everybody in the league got guys, but they don't got guys. They don't got role players. You know what I mean?
So I want to pull up. I have to pull up Cleveland Ross because I'm very interested in that, and we've kind of started getting into it. Let's go to the stats. Okay. Just if you would, okay. Bench. These are like top bench minute guys, kind of like LeVert. By the way, Curry LeVert shoot 41% from the field, Mont.
Curris is supposed to be a very good volume shooter. Like I said, suppose though.
It's not good.
As I suppose.
With spacing, 41% from the field.
But I don't know. Jared Allen gets a little bit tricky when we talk about spacing with him because he
has critical space. Like I get that he's not like Jared Allen's not a spacer, but like, come on, bro. You have Mitchell, you have Garland. You can't shoot better than 41% from the field if you Caris LeVert. Like You have to shoot better than that.
I mean, but his game is more so predicated on him getting to the cup. It's a little bit hard to get to the cup when you got two towers.
I get that. This is true. This is true. Oh, okay. I do see that we have our third special guest in the lobby. I'm gonna bring him up now. Okay. Let's make this a little bigger.
What is his Twitter name? Depressed Nets fan? You look real happy, my boy.
Was good. What a time. What a time to be alive. Niggas woke me. People woke me up out of my sleep. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, that's sick. That's
I said, why my phone? I said, why my phone blowing up? Why y'all keep talking about the Nets? But I turned on the TV. KD has been traded to the Suns. My girl said, I'm sorry. Yo.
Definitely. So yeah. So let's we tossed the Nets. We said we wanted to come back to it when you got on. Yeah. So just immediately, what is your take? I'm about to grab my water. So you all.
Yo, let me get in my bag. First of all, Sean Marks is a clown. Like, nigga, bro, gonna say the captain obvious. Like, oh my gosh, we didn't achieve what we wanted to do. No shit, Sherlock. Like, you lost 3 superstars in less than a year, bro. What? That is a serious. That's worse than fumbling 2 baddies. That's literally worse than 2 baddies. He fumbled 3, not 1, not 2, not 3. Now, Kyrie, I love Kyrie. I defend
that's your guy
like a full-time job. And this clown says one more subtle shot at us, I'm going, bro. This dude said he knew after year 1. Nigga, what?
Year 1 was kind of funny though.
Oh, the year he played 20 games. The year he played 20 games. The year KD didn't play.
Yes.
I seen this post that said sometimes when somebody say they fumble, it's given entitlement. It may be given entitlement, because I don't think the owner and the GM fumbled. The players have a lot to do with this, man.
No. The players have a lot to do with it. Harden quitting, he should have thugged it out. KD being a father and not a leader, shouldn't. That's his problem. The third eye in Kyrie, oh my god.
Kyrie gets the most blame. He's the one.
Out of the players.
He's the one.
No. This is my biggest issue.
Blame on Kyrie. You know he doesn't want to put the blame.
This is my biggest issue. If you knew, hold on, let me take.
Put it back. Oh no, sir.
If you knew you was gonna play with Kyrie money, why the hell didn't you just get rid of these niggas in the offseason? Why did you get my hopes up high like we had a shooter's chance? Like, are you serious, bro?
Y'all were looking good.
Yo, and then Kyrie got the nerve to say, I did my job. I left them with the 4th seed. Nigga, you just chose to play basketball.
He said that out loud.
I don't know why he said that. That was so bad. That was a horrible quote. That might actually keep him out of the Hall of Fame.
He said that out loud.
Yeah.
That might keep him out of the Hall of Fame.
He said he did his job. He left us with the 4th seed.
Entitled. Hey, man. But, gee, this is something y'all did. Y'all bought into this 4 years ago. And, you know what I mean? You should have seen from Kyrie previous styles before this. Kyrie is the franchise killer.
I don't like that there. But the Mavs media is nasty right now. Like, if Kirk Herbstreit.
Oh, bro, I had to unfollow him, bro.
I like Kirk.
Yeah, I like him, bro. The Mavs media.
I'm sorry, wrong Kirk.
It's Kirk Hine. It start with the H.
Yes, I'm sorry.
He hates Kirk. Mavs media hates Kyrie. Like before he was playing the game. I'm like, dang.
The Avatar, right?
Yeah.
If Kyrie came to the Nets right now, what would the Nets reporters say?
Look, I don't know what they would say. I don't know what I would say. Thank you. Thank you. Finish the mission.
And the Mavericks are a better team right now. I mean,
they are, and they're in a better position for the offseason. I mean, you were not going to have cap. And I think they'll be...
You have to be flexible. That's the goal. You have to be flexible.
I think they'll be blessed if Kyrie does choose to not come back, because now you already not going to be in position every year because of Luka to get a lottery pick. You know what I mean? You're going to need cap space. So go ahead and get that fluctuation of cap. Put somebody next to Luka and Christian Wood.
All I know is this. it do need to be a conversation about how the Phoenix Suns is kind of getting gas. Like they not no clear cut favorites. It's some flaws with them.
We can get it. Mont has picked them to come out of the West. No. Like this isn't like Mont. That was like his like hot take, but like he's like soft footed. Like if I have to pick somebody,
I mean, it's kind of hard to say, G. I mean, if KD gets on a team fully bought in,
yeah, that's true.
Fully bought in, and the worst, not the worst starter, but the number 4 starter, like
Torrey Craig is starting small forward right now, most likely.
Now, can I ask this? Now, how can we know? Can we admit like they defense is going to be mid? Like it's not going to be good.
It goes as best as DeAndre Ayton's defense is. I don't think he's a good defender in my opinion.
And we saw what Giannis did to that exactly.
But I think none of them have to check the best player. Torrey Craig will always be the one that just has to step up and
slow.
Are we talking about Torrey Craig? When you got to face LeBron, you got to play Jamal Murray. You got to.
I love that you acknowledge the Lakers will be there. Thank you, G. That's
the
first step to manifestation.
I'm not gonna lie. I gotta watch a little bit more basketball, but I'm real close to saying them niggas going to the finals. Denver about to watch out because bro.
I still really like Denver because I think they have the best cohesion right now. Does that freaking matter during the playoffs? Will it matter to an extent? Yes.
It can only get you so far. Though, you need that top end talent eventually.
But Jamal Murray's eating right now. I told Mont he's like 24 points, almost 50, 40, 90 last 7 to 10 games. Now, is that sustainable? But I'm a fan. So I like Jamal Murray. So I hope it's sustainable. So it's going to be interesting. But again, so we don't get too misconstrued. The Suns, they are definitely a contender. Are they the favorite?
They don't have no depth. And then
I don't know.
You gotta rely on Chris Paul to stay healthy.
You do.
You gotta rely on Devin Booker hamstrings to hold up.
Stuff.
Let's not do that. Let's not do that with D Book though.
Okay. Yeah, D Book's young at least. D Book is young.
Let's say KD just got a more reliable second star.
Is Ayton gonna hold up? I mean, no, is Ayton gonna be consistent because
he want to be there still.
Yeah, Ayton's. We know he's one game he's 20-10. Next game he's 6-5. Then it's KD. Is he going to wear down as the series go on throughout the playoffs?
Well, on this team he shouldn't have to. Right?
Look, everybody talk about that game 7, but nobody talks about how he scored 0 in overtime. Yeah, he gassed out.
But Booker, I don't know about Durant doesn't necessarily have to be the main closer because you do have Devin Booker, who's very make or miss. He's Kobe-esque, but I'll just take the shot if I brick or not. And he had this version of Kyrie before that would do that. So the pressure isn't as on KD. Now, KD has to win with the Suns. If he doesn't,
I'm a slander him myself.
The narrative will be disgusting. He has to win here.
I don't care if he follows me. I'm going to slander that man so bad and tag him in every post. I don't care. You play with my feelings, bro. You play with my heart. I put my everything into him and Kyrie. Kyrie leaving over.
I think KD was genuinely bought in, but I can't lie. I couldn't sell him on this roster either that the Nets currently have. Get me out of there. I'm 34. You see I'm injury prone. I'm going to load manage the rest of my career. Get me somewhere where I know I'm going to be solid. And then I think
great
a lot of that new ownership has a lot to do with it. He probably can get there and kind of mold how you want the owner to feel
do
himself.
What he wants. Yeah.
The owner's 43, fellas. He's Kevin Durant's 34.
He used to play at Michigan State.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
He was at Michigan State. I think he was on the team. Was he on the team with? He might have been on the team with Draymond.
No,
not that close. He played in
no way
2000.
Oh, mid 2000. Okay. Yeah. But he was like a walk on.
Tom Izzo was there.
Yeah.
They said his family had a hedge fund or something, and that's pretty much how he got his money for the Suns. So, hey, KD probably ready to get close to another owner, burn it all down. Well, He's not the one that burned it down, but
Okay, though. But really quickly, so who do we think are the contenders in the West?
Shit, damn near everybody.
So it's like you have Denver, you have Memphis, you have the Kings, the Beam, Mavericks, Phoenix, Clippers, New Orleans, Minnesota, Golden State, Lakers. There's a lot of good teams. Wait a minute, we have another special guest in the building. We do have another special guest here.
It's Mr. Malcolm in the building now. How y'all doing? You know, it's Malcolm from the co-host of Malcolm Ron show. You know,
We do have a special guest here for sure. Malcolm,
I'm glad we done something about
Hey, be quiet now. Be quiet. We talking about the trade deadline. We here for the trade deadline. You know, we gotta talk about it. Let's go.
but before we get into anything, Malcolm, would you like to talk about the Boston Celtics trade deadline?
Oh, excuse me. I'm ecstatic about the Boston Celtics trade. You talking about a guy? You bringing a guy in Mike Muscala. I think we talked about this before. We talked about this is a guy. Excuse me. This is a solid guy that's gonna come off the bench for us. We definitely need a guy like Mike Muscala. Hold up. Excuse me. Based off the health between Robert Williams and Al Horford, this guy shoots 39% from the 3-point line.
You can't shoot.
And this guy can do solid defense. I have shown earlier today. I want to make sure everybody knows. Like earlier today, you know, G and Ron tried to play me, act like I didn't know anything.
Yo,
what was happening, Mike Muscala? And I gave him the facts, B-ball index. Show him how good of a guy Mike Muscala is as a defender. Then people thought that he wasn't. So, you know, it feels great being able to tell people how good of a pickup that Brad Stevens did for this Boston Celtics team.
Mark, I got a question.
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
Somebody said it. I didn't say this, but somebody said it. You only like Mike Muscala because he reminds you of Daniel Tice. Now, is that true?
No, because at the end of the day, Mike Muscala's a better 3-point shooter.
I mean, he just played the same role. That's what I was getting at. You know what I mean? Same guy.
Yeah, it don't matter. We just need a third big, and he's a very good third big for us.
Plus, Al Horford and Rob Williams are hurt.
Well, I mean, they're going to be playing tomorrow. So
okay. They ain't that hurt.
Yeah, they're not that hurt.
He crying for more help. It's gonna be funny when Tatum does. It's gonna be funny when Tatum can't play good versus a good defense once again.
Well, I mean, I love everybody talking. You know, they talked last year. We went to the finals. You know, they talked the year before. It doesn't matter to me, to be honest. All that shit talking and stuff like that doesn't matter no more. But I want y'all to know that we might need another one. We might need another backup wing player. I think that could be able to help us out.
Another one?
We can find out in the backup. We can find out in the backup market. Just because at the end of the day, we don't want to give Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown so many minutes. Right now, Jason Tatum top 5 in the league right now as far as minutes played right now.
Yes.
We definitely gotta knock that down.
Jaylen Brown facial fracture. He would have to wear a mask.
Facial fracture. Now he has to wear a mask. So you gotta look at those things. We gotta prepare for the playoffs. Come on, y'all. This is the
so you just want a stacked team, just so y'all can face Golden State.
I'm sorry. You want to be the best team you could be able to be coming into the playoffs. Is that correct?
So why not get Russ?
Hey,
he's not a wing. Come on, y'all. Come on. We can't be messing up on the show like that. We gotta talk about some real stuff now.
Hey, how you feel about Milwaukee getting Jay Crowder? How does that make you feel?
I love it.
I like it. Only thing I have is Jay Crowder's not a good 3-point shooter. He has been bad the past few years. So he's been bad. He hasn't been that good though. Last year he wasn't a good 3-point shooter.
I don't like saying he's not a good 3-point shooter. He's at least decent. You have to guard him.
You got to step up.
You got to step up, but he has been missing. Last year he's been missing.
But that's does him making it matter if you have to guard it? Because then that means Greek is just gonna.
Obviously.
I don't see who's stopping Greek.
Well, nobody. I mean,
Grant Williams.
Stop Greek. Oh yeah, Grant could.
You said let's be real.
See, Grant can contain him, but he's not gonna stop him. I mean, nobody's not gonna stop Greek. It's who's
contain
around him. Yeah, you can contain Giannis.
What is contain?
Giving Giannis his points, but he's not really affecting the game. He's just scoring.
Is 30 containing him?
I mean, it's 30 containing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He could have 30 points, but he's not affecting the game all the time.
30, 15, and 6.
He's not getting his teammates some shots and stuff like that.
All right, boy, y'all better make the finals, and y'all better win. That's all I'm gonna say.
I have to say something. So with Boston and KD, if somehow one of these people is not going to win, whoever doesn't win is going to look, because either Boston is like the 7th year in a row, it's been next year. Well, god damn it. So it's either going to be they win it finally, or Durant's like, god damn it, you've been a loser for your team.
Excuse me. What you talking about? You talking about for Phoenix?
Well, I'm saying like either just only one team can win an NBA championship. So either the Suns and Durant will lose, and Durant's like, damn, Durant, can you win anywhere without Curry? So that's gonna be the narrative. Or Austin, okay, this is year 7 or year 6 of next year.
Don't forget the Clippers.
This is totally different, because you're comparing two situations. Number one, we're talking about Boston situation where two of our best young guys are 24 and 25. They're guys that are entering their prime. Excuse me.
He's been saying that since they've been 19.
You're talking about
literally.
Hold on. You're talking about Kevin Durant, who is 36. You know, who's like 34 years old, right? And he got 3 years left on his deal. You got a guy like Chris Paul, who's 37 years old. They are in win now because they don't have a chance after this.
So y'all not win now.
We are. I mean, obviously, we got the roster to win now. Yes, we have the win now roster. But as far as future wise, we have a future though. We can afford not going to the finals this year because we have other years. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown's going to get better. But if you're looking at the Phoenix Suns,
injuries are real. You can't just keep throwing away years. If Jaylen Brown tears his Achilles, who knows if he's still a good player? Once he has so it's just like you just don't know. You can't just keep kicking the can.
At what age will you stop saying next year or the future?
30.
Right, G. Because they've been title contenders since our freshman year of college.
But it's crazy though. But that's more team construction though. Why y'all gonna Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown is 24 and 25 years old. So I'm just saying that they are younger. You know, we're comparing that with Kevin Durant, who's 34 years old, and you got Chris Paul, who's 37. They don't have enough time.
Might be Durant Westbrook. That's exactly what they might be.
You look at that situation, they have to win now.
I mean,
exactly what they might be.
Is Tatum and Brown not gonna cost more as they get older?
Oh, Jaylen Brown's gonna be getting that max.
He's gonna get the max regardless. They're gonna have the max regardless. What you mean?
So we got one player, super max and a max player. That's what Tatum's is.
Yeah, super max unless Jaylen Brown makes All NBA this year, which is highly unlikely.
So,
it could be.
Yeah,
he could make 13.
Y'all gonna start losing pieces eventually, right?
You're gonna start losing pieces.
The luxury tax.
But that's where we trust. That's why we trust Brad Stevens and how he's able to develop his team. That's why you have guys like Brogdon and Derek Wright on long-term deals. They're not on short-term deals. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just letting you know, like, well, he's not Danny Ainge players because these guys came after Danny Ainge. These was Brad Stevens players that he traded for. So let's get that straight.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all trying to come to my Celtics, so I'm gonna blame it for you, man. I'm gonna lay it out.
I just wanted to know. I just wanted to see a Celtics fan perspective. That's all I wanted. I'm like, okay. I just wanted to see because again, I just know what the headline is. Boston doesn't get it done again. Like that's the newspaper headline. It goes bad.
Well, I mean,
that's what's going. I mean,
our expectations are championships. Yeah, like we expect to win this year.
He just said they're not gonna win now.
Well, I said we are. I said we'll win now. Hold on, this is a lie, so we can go back. To be honest, we can definitely understand. Like I definitely said we're in the win now. We have the win now roster. Yeah, we're here to win now. But I'm just saying, as far as who really needs to win a championship this year, you got to look at Phoenix. Just because of their age, they
are more win now. I agree.
Exactly. You don't know how Kevin Durant's going to be after this year. You don't know how Chris Paul's going to be after this year in a way. You know,
I know what Kevin Durant's going to be. I don't know what Chris Paul's going to be. I know what Kevin Durant's going to be.
Okay, in a way, but at the end of the day, he's getting a year older. He has injury problems, his injury concerns. They don't have any depth. You have to look at that too. You know what I'm saying? That's just a lot of questions you have to
But
ask.
they're going to be able to have that excuse that this is their first year. We are going on like 4th, 5th, 6th year of this Boston team. So it's like, and I mean the core. I mean the core. Marcus, Tatum, Brown.
I was a junior in high school. I'm a senior now, bro, in college. When you niggas gonna win?
Boston, because they are young. My only question is, has a team ever been that young with the same two superstar players and win a championship? And it took this long. I think the answer is no. So they would have to be the first in NBA history, which is possible.
So who was 24 and 25 and went to the finals leading their teams and won a championship? Other than like Magic Johnson, stuff like that. They won a championship in Orlando?
Exactly.
Or they went to the finals.
I mean, I'm just saying, Mo, at some point they broke it up because they
Shaq,
couldn't.
Kobe?
So if they can't,
Like that's the youngest we're gonna get.
So I think at the point is, so you're gonna say just because the 24, 25-year-old did not go to the finals, we're just gonna break that up because we feel like they just didn't go to the finals.
Well, I mean,
But you know,
treat them like kids, bro. Hold them to all NBA, all-star standards.
Jaylen Brown has gotten better every single year. Jason Tatum has gotten better every single year.
He has.
right? They like 6 and 7 years left.
Okay, if you want to go Pacifics, you can go to Pacifics. But as an overall player, Jaylen Brown
I agree. He's gotten better. He has gotten better.
That's what I'm saying. Like he's gotten better. So this team has gotten better. Yes.
But what is the precedent for this team? My only question is we have no precedent. There's never been two young players on the same team that were drafted year after year that won a championship, and it took longer than 5 years. Who?
Yeah, we're in a different.
They would have to literally make NBA history. This would have to be jumping.
We're in a different situation. You gotta understand. Number one, when Danny Ainge was GM, he built this roster up. But in the fact that he built this roster up, we had no bench. We had no bench, and we was putting young guys in the back. And to be honest, that last year that Danny Ainge had the roster, young guys and guys who's come overseas, like the Brad Wanamaker's of the world. You know what I'm saying? You got you got guys like that. That's what I'm saying. This year, Brad Stevens has got real rotational players on the squad, real rotational NBA players on the team. You got guys like Derek White, he got, Malcolm Brogdon, he got, Luke Cornett, you know what I'm saying? Grant Williams. Sam Hauser, you know what I'm saying? You had those guys. Hey. We're a way better team now when Brad Stevens has come because Brad Stevens put real guys on the bench. And that's what helped our team up a lot.
So you're saying also Brad Stevens is also better than Danny Ainge?
I'm not saying that I think Brad Stevens is more aggressive. I think that Brad Stevens
That's what he said. He said Brad Stevens is a better team around him than Danny Ainge.
When was Danny Ainge not aggressive?
When he didn't want to go get AD or Kawhi or Jimmy, and they could have had a ring by now.
Nah, that's not true.
I feel like Danny made a lot of moves, but at the same time, it just come back to the point that this year needs. If this year not the year, it's gonna be another slander year.
Danny's the person that wants to win the trade. Danny's the person that wants to win the trade. Brad's not too fixated on or trying to win a trade. That's why he was able to trade the first round pick to get Derek White, first round trade to play get Malcolm Brogdon. Danny Ainge is not making those trades.
My thing is, though, if y'all lose again. How many times can you lose? Oh, they marked the leg out. But anyway, how many times can you lose? Like, how many times can the same two people lose and like still be friends? You see what I'm saying? Like, can you lose with the same person 8 times and be like, I love this guy? Like, eventually, it's like it's his fault.
So KD got tired of us.
They can't. Tatum can't fold again if they do end up, not getting it done. If it's Tatum that ain't getting it done. I mean, granted, Tatum the better player, but it's like, dude, when it mattered the most, are you gonna be the one that close it out for us? If not, we gotta get Brown a shot.
And that's scary.
He can't dribble with his left hand. I don't want nobody closing my game that can't dribble with their left hand or dribble with their head down. You're a grown man in the NBA dribbling with your head down.
Shooting guard. You're a guard. Shooting guard. Forward.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
So
he's just an NBA Saquon. He's just an NBA Saquon.
I can't.
That's what
he drive is right, but super athletic and tall and buff.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. I don't know. I really think Phoenix can lose in the second round. They can go to the finals. I don't know about them. It's gonna be very interesting. Now Dallas, boy, them boys looking potent. My boy Kyrie look like he want to play basketball again with Luka.
Josh Green,
Finney who? Josh Green. You said, bro. Can we get a Luka versus?
Yeah, I was wondering when they was gonna let Josh Green emerge.
I want Luka to get his get back on the Clippers. I need Luka to get his get back on the Clippers.
Oh, that'd be crazy,
bro. Just think about it. Somebody crazy is gonna lose in the first round out west.
I hope it's not the Lakers, please. I can't afford the narrative.
No cap, Ron.
I can't
slander.
I can't.
Slander, libel, propaganda. Please. It's gonna be so much of it.
You know it's gonna fall. It's gonna fall on Anthony Davis. Like, let's just be real. We know LeBron's gonna show up.
Not when I'm living. I'm gonna blame
But
LeBron.
even still though, Ron, I think even if Anthony Davis is not there, you can run Braun, Mo Bamba, Vanderbilt.
But like that hasn't beat the Nuggets. Like, because the Lakers, like, what are the Lakers?
They gonna
They're
die
still
versus
the sixth
Denver.
seed in my opinion. That's their ceiling.
But
So
you
it's
just
like,
can't like zone off Braun. Like
Well,
you're
look at the
gonna have to
Grizzlies.
chase people off the line. That's the one thing that the Lakers just been missing for 2 years. They don't have anybody that's knocking down, and their
Al
shooters that he did
Beasley,
have.
Cookies, D'Lo, who's by the way is a career high from 3 this year. Like, I'm not really a fan, but again, he's their most skilled player right now, besides LeBron and Anthony Davis. Like, it's just the facts. Like, is that
Yeah,
sad?
he's their best player.
But he's their most skilled player, and he's shooting over like 43% from 3 this year.
Needs that. Really needs the ISO ball too. He can go ahead and have a
I
couple
did see
possessions.
someone post that stat that he's been like insane in isolations, which is a crazy stat. I didn't even think of him.
And that's the thing. You couldn't put Westbrook in isolation. You couldn't trust him. Couldn't trust him get a mid range. Couldn't trust him hit a three. You can probably let D'Lo
before
get
we
a
get out of
good
here,
5
who do
to
you think
6.
closes for the Lakers? What is your closing play, like your closing 5 for the Los Angeles Lakers? I had a really tough time with this one.
It is gonna depend on who they playing, but more times than likely not. AD at the 5, Bron at the 4.
Yep. And who the heck are your 3?
It's gotta be Rui at the 3. Unfortunately, then you got Beasley and D'Lo. I mean, it's just the whole cast of new guys that they got. I don't think.
I'm not gonna lie. Reeves has a shot to be out there, man. He's 6'5", man. He can play.
No,
I think the Reeves train was earlier in the season run. I might have fell off.
He can shoot. He has a hamstring injury. He can shoot it.
Reeves and Lonnie, I need both of them to show that they can still be good rotational tools because they both showed a lot in the midst of this terrible season.
Lonnie is actually shooting the hell out of the ball this year, by the way. He hasn't got enough really credit for this little like 3-point resurgence. This is the best year I've ever seen him shoot the ball.
Since he came back, Ron, it's been treacherous.
Hey, can I say a last note before we go?
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
We 1-0 without KD and Kyrie.
This is sick.
We 1-0 after
this is nasty.
Y'all are actually built perfectly around Ben if we being 100%. Like Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Finney Smith, Spencer Dinwiddie. All you got is
the idea. Everyone good around the idea of Ben Simmons.
Of 2019 Ben Simmons.
My boy Ben had 8 and 8 tonight. Yeah, boy, he about to go steal some checks, boy.
Oh, he's stealing checks.
Oh, he's stealing checks. That boy got hit in the eye and said knee soreness. I said, yeah, get him.
Hey, but you know why you got him? Because KD and Kyrie wanted Harden. And you know why they wanted Harden? Because Josiah and what's the other one?
Sean Marks.
Wanted KD and Kyrie, my boy.
By the way, Cam Thomas was 3 for 16 tonight, so I think it's officially over.
Yeah, the Cam Thomas agenda needs to change. He's a great guy, but come on now. No player can go 40 player.
Yeah.
And G, before you came on, we said my 3 biggest losers: Bulls, Wizards, Toronto.
Toronto tricked themselves out a spot. Like
they were losers, but the Bulls are the team that the Nets lost, is why I put them up. The Bulls traded no one and are losing to a Nets team that traded everyone. They are the biggest loser. Like,
just blow it up. You got win now players. Like you got Zach. Zach should have went to New York today. Put Zach, send off DeMar, send off Caruso, let them go flourish somewhere. Like, why are you holding them hostage? Toronto trying to scam people. Like, 3 OG, nigga.
Yeah, we talked about that. We said Durant went for 4. To think OG's going for even 2 is kind of like, maybe I'll give you 2 for OG, but like Durant went for 4. He's not even like that. That's a come on.
Van Fleet is gonna leave him in the offseason.
This is what I said, Mike. This is
the Nets.
No, bro.
They're good, probably.
If we sign
they
Fred,
got room,
bro, I'm gonna be sick, bro. I'm gonna be sick.
Hey, them ticket prices ready to go down.
Oh, Mike Tomlin got 3 votes for Coach of the Year. Shout out Mike Tomlin.
Oh.
I don't know how he got that this year.
Come on, Ron. This is a hell of a job. It was a hell of a job. Please.
Now, okay. Before it gets too disgusting on here, before the narratives get. But again, appreciate everyone. I think we went somehow for an hour 45.